The 7th hole at Zwartkop Country Club, another par 3. In the old days, when I say the old days, I'm talking about 25 years ago, the tee was much further to the left, and all the big willow trees had grown on the side of the river and actually eventually became a dog leg. You had to draw the ball. There were bunkers on the right-hand side of the green. You had to aim for those bunkers and draw the ball onto the green. If you were a slicer or even a fader of the ball, you had absolutely no chance. You'd be playing your second shot from right of the bunkers every single time you played the hole. So when they redid the golf course, Peter Makovich changed the 6th green and moved the 6th green to the left and the 7th tee to the right to straighten out the hole. You know, the hole today is very pretty because it's got a lovely backdrop, but it's not as good a par 3, not as tough a par 3 as the old one. It's a much easier par 3 than the old one, but obviously, you know, to save some slices and faders of the golf ball, they had to make some changes. The 8th hole. The 8th hole is an interesting par 4 that was also changed by Peter Makovich a number of years ago. But on the old 8th hole in 1966, when Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player played a match there, Jack came and played a practice round, and on his practice round he got onto that tee, hit his tee shot, and the head of his driver flew off. So he had to play the rest of the round with the 3-wood. Anyway, the next day they now playing the match, and they walk up over the bridge at the 7th to the 8th tee, and some people have climbed up into the trees to get a better look at Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player's tee shots at the 8th hole, and they've disturbed a swarm of bees, and the bees just come out and people are diving off the trees. I mean, it's absolute chaos, and everybody's running, not for their lives, but running away to avoid being stung by these bees. Well, eventually Jack Nicklaus had to play off the ladies' tee, and Gary had to play off the ladies' tee to complete the hole. And Jack mentioned this many, many years later. He said, "I'd love to come back to South Africa, but I hope they've got rid of those bees on the 8th tee at Zwartkop Country Club." The 9th hole. I remember way, way back. They played the Bert Hageman tournament at Zwartkop Country Club, 1972. And John O'Leary, who's just passed away, a lovely character from Ireland and a wonderful player, played on the Ryder Cup team, and he won his Irish Open, among other tournaments that he won. John was drawn with Moose Gammon, and Moose Gammon had been a number 5 or 6 under par at one stage, and then dropped a few shots, and he was quite hot under the collar by the time he got to the 9th tee, and he got up the 9th tee. He used to drive with a 2-wood, and the back tee was quite high. They'd built it up, and there were some overhanging branches on a big tree on the right-hand side, and Moose skied his tee shot, and the ball caught these trees, and nobody even saw where the ball went, and Moose lost it. That was like just the final straw. And as they came off the green, I said to John O'Leary, "How did it go?" He said, "Dale," he said, "I played with this fellow, Moose Gammon." He said, "On the 9th tee, he lost it." He said, "I was frightened for my life." I've never ever forgotten that. Moose is a wonderful character, and Moose won the Welsh Open Championship, and of course in South Africa he's hugely well known, he and his son Donald, for being on television and doing a lot of coaching on television. Terrific coach, now coaches golf at Durban Country Club.